is it might not be able to do what you were just talking about right now, but a year from now or 2 years from now, who's to say that? Because the AI is constantly learning.
Welcome back to the wrap up. I'm your host, Shiptown P. Feeve, Mr. Five, Angry Hearts Deluxe Music, and I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. K.A. Everyday of Unaffiliated Creatives Podcast. How you doing, sir?
Hey man, it's always lovely to be able to join you on one of these things, man. I know you got a lot of gems you want to give these people, man. So I'm ready to get going.
Right. So today is a special day because I want to talk about something that I've been focusing on for a while, which is, the title of this is Signed by the Machine, AI's Record Deal Revolution. That's what we're talking about today. So, quick overview is nowadays things have changed and now record labels are signing AI artists. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't get as excited about it as you are. Maybe you can explain it better than me, and maybe you'll bring me over to your side of the fence. But from just hearing it and what you just said, I don't get overly excited about it. And I guess I'm looking at it from the point of a artist, like a living, breathing, I got blood running through my veins artist. That's what makes us special. There's nobody else like you. And when people come to see you perform, whatever it is, they're coming to experience you. They're seeing you. They're not seeing a hologram on a stage or a cardboard cutout of a something that's not even real. So
Right.
I guess I don't get super excited about the concept because to me it sounds like basically the artists are about to get phased out. You won't really need a human anymore because they're going to be replaced by AI. But maybe you know something that I don't know.
Well, I think it's quick to note that the studio's already been through this. People, when the studio owners thought that, hey man, that technology, the laptops or whatever will be around forever. And that is true, but the way the people's workflow changed. And then, you know how it was back in the day about 15, 20 years ago for a C-list studio, it was 150, for just a couple of hours, right? So fast forward that, now it's like, you can't even, you say it's $150 for a couple of hours, people laugh at you. It's just, people have laptops, people have FL Studio, Studio One, Pro Tools. They have it at home and you can get the same sound in the box. And I don't think that was what studio owners were banking on, that the technology would get to that point. Now, fast forward, producers thought that they were safe. But once again, the technology, FL Studio and all these other, stem packs and drum kits, and now you got a 12-year-old girl who's got FL Studio. She's got Ninth Wonder drum kits, Boy Wonder drum kit. She got, Conductor Williams drum kit, and she making gutter hip hop in her bedroom. And then she's going online and she's selling the beats $5 to $10 a piece. How do you compete in an age where, I remember a time where, a producer, if you got a placement, you were getting like, you could make, normally it was about $2,500 for a placement. They'd laugh at you nowadays talking about you want $2,500 for a beat, and you could have, actual placements, and they're like, no, that's not what we're about. And I think that, and I said this about a year ago when I first started playing with AI, because I learned a valuable lesson from Tommy Hitz when he came to the studio with me and Roz Money years ago. And he came in that night in the session, and we were just kind of like, okay, where's the rest of his gear? Where's his MPC? Where's his keyboard? He was like, no, I just got this laptop. That's all I need. And we're like, what are you going to do with that? And he showed us very quickly how that translated. And, we realized then, me and Roz Money, that if we didn't change our workflow, we were going to get left behind. And I say that in this conversation, you have to change and adapt your workflow to utilize AI. I just did a whole album with AI. And when I first talked about it, the immediate team was like, how will we do it? How will we incorporate it? And I was like, let's just play with it. Let's see what it can do. And I can tell you, in 1 year's time, it's become light years ahead of where I thought. Now, I'm about to sign back up for the Suno version 5, which is to the point of these. And I'll just give you 2 examples. Xania Monet and I Am Oliver were 2 of the artists that were actually signed. I think Xania Monet was a writer who used Suno she was a writer and a poet, and she used Suno to actually produce an album that caught some traction. And a $3 million deal later, and she didn't sing anything, or she didn't perform the record. She utilized the technology. What do you think about that? $3 million, and she didn't, I'm not going to say that she didn't put work in. She wrote, she gave the emotion, and she cradled and nurtured the AI. But how do you feel about people now? And the reason why she got signed is because people were like, we don't care whether it's AI. The audience, the fan base said, we don't care whether it's AI. The songs hit the way they're supposed to hit. I saw the videos of people saying, the women were like, we don't care. Them songs resonate. So as an R&B artist yourself, how does that make you feel that people now accept it when at first, a year ago, people thought it was super weird?
I mean, you kind of alluded to it. I mean, as things evolve, as technology gets better and better, I mean, you kind of got to keep up with the times or you'll get left behind, right? So, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, using AI as a tool to better your workflow, better, your song arrangement, just make the overall product better, I'm cool with. But what I have a problem with is there has to be a fine line, because at some point, the thing that you're using to make your workflow better might be the thing that just totally replaces you altogether. And that's what I always have an issue with. I don't have a problem with using the tool to make things better. But when it gets to the point where you're no longer needed at all, because why do we need you when we have this? That's when it gets scary, in my opinion.
I mean, we watched the studio businesses crumble. We didn't have that kind of. I know I know that it was personal because I was involved with a camp that had a studio, and it wasn't sustainable. But as producers, I watched the studios and producers. So the next evolution will be the artist, right? And I think that from a record label standpoint, it's easier. Get a data engineer to do the prompts. You get a writer and a poet that can translate the songs. It's scalable. You pretty much cut out the record crew. The Suno does all the heavy lifting on the actual recording, harmonies. Finish it. You could just give it a skeleton track and it'll finish a complete skeleton track. Now with the version 5 and the DAW that Suno's coming out with, now it separates all the tracks. So now you get the lead, the harmonies, all of the improvisations that Suno's done. It does everything for you. Like, it breaks it all the way down. Then you can just export it to your DAW and finish. That's incredible, man. Like that, and from record labels standpoint, it makes you work faster. I could just tell you, by using this platform that we're on right now, I just edited a whole hour-long podcast segment. I export it. It did all of the heavy lifting. I clicked the AI button. It broke everything down into 1-minute clips, 3-minute clips, 15, 30-second clips in a click of a button. And all I had to do was go through those 30 clips and just make the logo bigger, add the captions. And now it has the click the button. It will master the clip, the audio from all participants in one clip. How long? Let me ask you this. How long do it normally take you to edit a pod on unaffiliated creatives? Your normal workflow?
Yeah, so P he shedding light. I'm a dinosaur, so I still do everything myself. So I bring in, well, my podcast, I normally don't record an hour long, but even though it's not even an hour long, but the average length is probably about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. But in 20 to 30 minutes, if I kept it all just to, the whole video, that don't take that long at all. But when I want to break it up, that takes a little bit of time because I'm having to listen to the audio because I be wanting a certain part of the audio to get clipped. Because to me, what you clipped in the audio is probably more important than what you seeing on the video. So that
Right.
takes a little while. So to answer your question, I mean, I could probably easily spend on and off a full day, like let's say like on the weekends, if I'm not at my regular 9 to 5 job, I could easily spend a good chunk of a Saturday just in Premiere, listening to the audio. Okay, I want to clip it here and here. Okay, that's one clip. Listen to a little bit more. Okay, that's another clip. So it is tedious and it takes it's not as easy as what you just explained.
Right. I just went through a whole hour long pod. And the point I'm making is this, because I don't want to get off topic, is that the tools make you work faster. Now, granted, it gives the power to everyone, right? We spend a lot of time learning how to edit. I think to everyone, like, just because you can use AI doesn't mean that it's the quick way, because you still have the nuances of knowing you could produce a record in Suno, but you want to make sure that you understand your sonic signature as a producer. Even as an artist or a writer, you want to make sure that you give your sauce to what's going on. And I think that we shouldn't be scared of it. And I understand where you're coming from. You know, you don't want to be 100%. The machine will never have a soul. And I think that people need to understand that. You give it the soul. And I've, you know, as we look at AI and where it's going, you know, the thing about signing an AI artist, where are they going to perform? How are they going to perform? Are they going to be at Coachella? You're going to have a hologram? Like, how does that work, right? How does that scale beyond online? That is my question. But in the online world, you eliminated a lot of jobs at a record company. The creative director, the studio engineer, the artist, producer, it's a one-man band situation now. And how do you adapt, and how do you keep the continuity of the culture and the art where it needs to be to drive it forward?
I don't know. I was trying to figure that out too. I mean, are you gonna be paying $100 to go to a concert to just watch a hologram, or you just gonna be looking at a big screen? Because if I just want to look at the big screen, I mean, you might as well just stay home and just watch it on TV. If you just want to be looking at a screen for 3 hours, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure with anything, they'll figure it out. They'll come up with some unique, oh, you only can experience if you do it like this. This is a once in a lifetime thing that's never been done before. And people will be intrigued because it's something new. And people, I mean, if anything, like it sounds weird to us now, but at some point it'll just become the norm.
So why do you think the labels now have the buy-in? Because as well as I do, a year and a half ago, this conversation was like, oh no, it'll never get to the point where you'll have AI artists. And here we are, a year and some change later, and boom, they sign an AI artist for $3 million. $3 million for an album. How does that work? Are the contracts different? Why would you think, you've been around the business, why do you think that the record labels are buying into this now?
I think because somebody at the record labels is smart enough to realize that AI is where everything is going. So you might as well get in it when it's kind of still new and young. And let's be honest, I mean, the record labels, at the end of the day, they're all about making money. So I got a feeling that they're jumping on board with the AI because this is probably going to give them even more control what they already have with. Cause let's be honest. I mean, I don't really know how deep you really want to get into it, but now a lot of the artists, when I'm saying artists, I'm talking about people that's living and breathing. Now we're getting smarter with with information and stuff. Now a lot of people are getting smarter with the record contracts. They're not signing the deals that they used to sign. Now it's almost like most cats don't even want a record deal. They're like, I'd rather stay independent, do it on my own, keep all the money in my pocket, whatever. So with that being said, the record labels had to come up with something because if they're having a hard time signing regular artists because everybody want to do it themselves, at some point to get an artist, you probably will have to just get an AI artist.
So let me get this right. And maybe I think you hit a point. Could it be that because a lot of artists are wising up and not signing the 360, that they're going, okay. And let's be fair. The advances that they used to give aren't the same. And they definitely don't give $3 million advances. And I'm sure that $3 million is for sole ownership. Right. I don't know their contract, but could it be a way of humbling artists to, if you don't sign with us or get back on the bandwagon, we're just going to wipe you out completely? Could that be the intention?
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like to me because I mean, let's be honest. Every time you hear artists talk about record labels and what they're dealing with, it's always either an established artist that's always talking about they're going through a way to get out of the contract that they're in so they can be quote unquote free. Or you got artists that's now new in the game that got the information and they're telling you, oh yeah, I don't have a other record contract. What we think of a record contract, it's more like a partnership. They just doing this for me, but I have all of my masters. I own this, I own that. So the record label's like, yo, we gotta make money too. So I think with the AI, it's probably gonna allow them to have more ownership.
Yeah, I'm curious of how those deals might work as far as copyrights and ownership and royalties. So let's have a more creative and ethical debate about this. Like, what do you think the difference is between human artistry and the machine artistry, the AI artistry? What do you think? How did we get to a point where it is now able to understand the nuances to recording? Because as an artist, there's you know, you're just not gonna, you have to have the creative willpower to go on a journey. That journey normally means that I'm going to find that cadence, that niche that's unique to me and elevate that. For example, Andre 3000, right? Once Three Stacks came into the picture, that was the evolution of that artist and how he approaches a record. And I don't think that there's a AI that can go figure out a cadence and evolve it. I don't think that the machine is there yet. And I think that that's the caveat that, yes, with Spotify training their AI with everyone's record, which that's been you heard about it, right? People are in an uproar because the contract says that Spotify can use the music that you
Yeah.
upload and train its AI. But if it's training the AI, the point I'm making is, but it's training it to mimic something. It's not training it to become its own evolution, right? It's going to listen to a Kendrick Lamar record and mimic Kendrick Lamar. It's not going to understand the nuances to his cadence and flows and how he approaches music, because that study, when you have someone like Kendrick that studies And as a student, AI can try to analyze, well, what did he do here or what did he do there? But it can't account for all the years that he studied this person or studied that person or studied this music to what makes that unique. You're getting the finished product. You're tasting the cake and going, yeah, I can make that. I know how it looks. I know how it tastes, but I don't know all the ingredients. And I think that artists need to dial into that. Like, yeah, they may see the finished product, but they don't know all of it. And it can mimic, but can it evolve on its own? And I think that that's where artists need to dial in, utilize it, and make it your work, make it just like with the, editing, make your workflow faster. Right. So I don't know. How does that look for you? If you had to integrate that into your workflow, how would you approach it?
So I'm gonna answer or just piggyback off of what you were just saying as far as the AI. The scary part of AI, and you can attest to this because you've been playing around with it now for the past year or so. Just in this short amount of time, we've seen the AI do leaps and bounds. But I think what people are scared of the AI is it might not be able to do what you were just talking about right now, but a year from now or 2 years from now, who's to say that? Because the AI is constantly learning. So at some point, I got a feeling that AI will be able to do what you were just talking about. It'll be able to take an artist and it not only be able to mimic them, but it will probably be able to
Break down their influences and then evolve that?
remix. It'll be able to remix what they doing and add the human element to it and give it the piece that you were just talking about that right now it can't do.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's what I'm telling you. And then it's like, who can you fault for that? Because it's like we're the one. It's scary when you think about it. Like we're the ones that created the thing that is basically or could replace us.
Well, it's definitely going to replace our jobs. It's definitely, everything's going to get automated eventually. So our job will be to what? Watch the AI work, make sure it doesn't crash out. Like that's crazy, right? So
Or like you said, you just got to find a way to make the AI work best for you. You got to be better at using the tool than other people.
yeah, that's kind of crazy, man. That's crazy. Thinking about it, I'm just like, man, how should so my next question is this: should people get credit paid for training AI? Like, and I think that that's the big debate. Like, and we were having this discussion yesterday. It's not even that you gave Spotify the right. You gave DistroKid or TuneCore the right to allow Spotify to do that. And you didn't know that you were doing that. And to me, it's like, well, I'm only getting 0.001 per stream anyway. And with Spotify, even with that one stream, if I don't have enough streams, I'm just really putting money in Beyonce or whomever or Taylor Swift's bank account. So the only way I can monetize on an even plane is on YouTube or Facebook or Patreon. Do you think with the incorporation of AI learning people's art, because I'm starting to see it already, that a lot of artists are taking their music off streaming platforms and either selling their catalog or they're taking the music all the way down. I know for me, I'm not really a 0.001 person, and the music industry doesn't excite me from a financial standpoint as when I was younger. I'm kind of older and wiser now. Like, I'm not going to spend all year to try to get a couple of $2,500 placements. I'll just go out here in the real world and chop that, get that money by the other, legitimate means. And I just feel like with AI and everything that we have at our fingertips, I think what I see is that we make AI work to to save us time and to get us to the end result. And I think for any artist, especially R&B artists, because it seems as if this is what they're signing first now is singers. So that's the impacted group right now, which is singers. I don't know what an AI rapper would look like, how they would, and I'm sure they're studying, but I think that's a more nuanced thing, especially with some of these rappers offbeat and ain't on time. Like, I don't know how that's going to work. But, you know, how would you incorporate that in that workflow, though? Like, would you sing the lead, let AI do the heavy lifting, or would you be interested in just writing a whole project or writing a project or song and letting it do the work for you?
Okay. That is an excellent question. And the best way I can explain it would be if I was trying to present to the world KA as an artist, like I want you to feel me as an artist.
Right.
I would want my vocals to the best of my ability to be what you hear. I won't really want AI like now there's a way where AI could take my original vocals and then it just do whatever it's gonna do, but it's my sound and I'm cool with it. But I won't want to sing in AI if I'm trying to give the world KA. I won't want to sing into the AI program and then it just puts another voice on top of my stuff, so then it don't even sound like me. I wouldn't want to do that. Now, if I was just trying to create an AI artist like you saying these other people had started doing, and it was just we gonna create Joe Blow, and we already give like we already know what we want the image to be, what we want, the AR artist, whoever. Then I wouldn't even care. It could just be, hey, we like how this vocal sound. This is gonna be the look. This is gonna be the flow, the pocket, the kind of style he gonna be, or whoever. I wouldn't care.
Mm. Yeah.
But
So,
and the reason why I say this is because as an artist, especially when we're talking about singing, your voice is what makes you different than other people. So if I was trying to present myself to the world, but I wasn't using my real voice, then it's like, what are you giving? Like, I don't know. It's just that just seems kind of weird to me.
and I think we talked about this, and I'm I'm glad I got you on a pod so that we can, because I want to do a EDM album, but I want me and you to write it, AI to sing it, and then produce it.
Yeah.
Right. So, interesting enough, but to go back to the other point, but what if there was $3 million on the table for the AI artist?
That's what I wouldn't care. Yeah. But again, that wouldn't be us trying to present ourselves as the artist. It would be we just came up with some creative name. This is the artist, but it wouldn't be like that would be like a representation of you. So at that point,
Right.
I wouldn't care. Like
Right.
we would be more like the behind the scenes. It would be like we were the ones that wrote the song. We were the ones that arranged the song. We were the ones that did like the music production, all of the back, all of that stuff. But we wouldn't be like the actual person, like, the face of it.
That's interesting. So what I'm stuck on is you give $3 million for an AI artist, but I've heard about other artists not getting nowhere near that. I've heard Meek Mill say he only got $20,000 for a new artist. So 20,000 to 3 million, that's a large gap. But also, even with, let's say record company XYZ wanted to sign KA, how does KA feel about, let's keep it funky. Let's just say all they had was $100,000 for your entire project that's written, produced, mixed, mastered, promo, all in $100,000. How would you feel about that versus them giving this AI artist $3 million? Ownership looks pretty much the same. The only difference is I think now artists realize, and I've seen a lot of this online, that the only way they make money now is through performing.
Mm-hmm.
And now with of course with the 360 deal, you got to give up some of that. And you got to give up some merch. They don't let you get into that, well, you're going to catapult me into this space, and then I'm gonna sell my hat, my T-shirt on the road. And the record label's like, no, we want in. No, we want in, and this is the only way that this is gonna work. And now it's like, oh, okay, y'all want to stay independent? You don't want to sign with us? Okay, we're gonna get this AI, which we can get the album done. If we got the right writers, we could get the album done in a couple of days. How you gonna compete with that?
You
We
can't.
got rid of our graphic department. Don't need that. Engineer, mastering, all that's done online now. Click of a button. Now soon they're gonna have AI in your DAW, right? Some of them already have it. So why do we need you again?
So to answer your question, anybody would feel some kind of way, and if they didn't, they're lying to you. There's no way that if you're saying that as a human, breathing, blood flowing through my veins, human is only getting $100,000, but yet the same record label is going to give this AI artist that's not even a real person 3 million, you're going to feel some kind of way. I don't see how you could.
Wow. I mean,
to me, and like I said, we still haven't heard all of the stipulations on these contracts and how it all works out. But to me, the only reason why a label would be able to pay an AI artist 3 million is because a computer don't need sleep. A computer don't need to eat. And a computer can tour 365 days a year. So the 3 million to them must not sound like that much when they thinking about, well, this person, we can have them and, here today, there tomorrow, there, you know what I'm saying? Like a human, think about it, if a human go on tour, they gotta sleep, they gotta travel to the next spot, you gotta rest, you know what I'm saying? It's a long process,
so
but
that makes a good point. Do you think, and I love how you stage that. So do you think that the point that you made is it doesn't need to eat, doesn't need to sleep, and if the venue is online, so that means that the actual AI, the artist doesn't sleep, doesn't eat. That means its creative director doesn't eat, doesn't sleep. Means that the social media manager for the AI, if it's AI, it doesn't need to sleep. So it's a 24/7 constant barrage and blitz of content. And, that's crazy because, and what we've both learned and why I've been championing us to take our, because we have these conversations all the time. Just want to let our audience know, but taking the conversations that we normally have on a day-to-day and put them on a pod, because I've said it on the last pod we did, artists have to realize you can make curated content, but you talk about music all the time. Other people are getting into the podcast game that aren't musicians. And now the same artist that was too proud to post content now has to go pay someone who does post content to be seen because they have a lack of an audience. So this person has no real credibility. I don't want to say it. May not have, because a lot of podcasters do have credibility, but there are some that don't come from the music space, but they charge those in the music space a hefty dollar on their circuit to be a part of their audience. Why hasn't the artist realized that if I can do, the tools are there, right? I know for a fact. And it was tougher a year ago when I was using Suno, I couldn't extract. Remember, I was sending you records and I was like, yo, I gave it 59 seconds of the beat and it went bananas, bonkers. But I can't separate it. I can't get the lead. I can't get, everything's wet. I can't. Now they went and was like, oh yeah, the horn section that we added, here it is, it's dry. Here go the stem, it's dry. Here's the bridge, it's dry. Here go the vocals. You want the vocals, the harmony stacks, the ad-libs, everything? Here it is, dry. Now export stems, pull it in your DAW, mix it, master it, season it to taste, and let's go. And it's all done very quickly. That's crazy. So how would you not utilize all these these tools, yo, I can have an hour-long conversation and spit out 30 to 40 clips in one click of a button. And then all I got to do is spend maybe 30 seconds on each clip, throw a logo on it, click the button for it to master the audio, put your captions running at the bottom so people can know exactly what you're saying, whether they got their phone on mute when you post a clip. So now what used to take a day or two now takes one click and a few minutes of your time. So what that just did, what I'm saying is that AI recorded me, created a transcript, put everything in its rightful place, broke everything down for me, edited everything, mastered it, the audio, got me ready to export in a few minutes. Look at all the jobs that just got killed. How many jobs that all those people used to do that now I don't need an editor. I don't need a film crew. I don't need this. I don't need an engineer. I don't need a mastering. I don't need a graphic designer, motion artist. I don't need any of that. I can just to the world. Same thing with the artistry. You have a song. If you wake up tomorrow and you have a song or a poetic line, you can go turn it on, record in. It will analyze where you want to go, take you there, and then you could tweak it all in a couple of seconds. You literally could do a EP in an hour with Suno. That's crazy. And use Runway to make all the video clips and content for that AI artist. The scalability is endless. How can you scale a human like that? Like, to your point, the human needs to eat, it needs to sleep, it needs to do all of the things. And then, I know, back in the day, artists used to, take drugs to stay up all night. So just so they could keep up with their tour schedule. Right. So now the label doesn't have to worry about, oh, he drinks too much, he smokes too much, he's on this drug, he drinks lean, he smokes weed, like he's not on time. Like, this thing just like, hey, we're running a YouTube concert Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 6 concerts a day for all the way through the holiday season. Boop, 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 couple of buttons, and it's over. Walk away. And where does that leave an artist with true talent? He's at a crossroads. Do I feed into that, or do I stick with the old way and may not be as successful, may not be able to monetize? So artists, to your point on your podcast, Unaffiliated Creatives, which I love so much, and the way that you go about talking to artists, is that artists have to do exactly what we're doing right now. You have to get out here. You're not going to be able to keep up with a podcaster who can take a 30-minute conversation and run and use this platform that I'm using right now and cut up 30 clips in a click of a button, and they can post literally, if they had a 30-minute conversation about music every day, they could post literally 10 clips a day, 20 clips a day, and beat the algorithm in a way that's unreal. But I don't think everyone understands it. And then if you had an AI artist, you could run them in tandem beside you as the Robin to your Batman, and still get that traction. That's crazy. You could actually use the AI artist to bring attention to you and your craft. So I think with Xania Monet, I think they didn't sign her, they signed the artist. So I don't know how those, and I guess we'll have to see if we can get under the hood to see what that contract looks like now and what that ownership piece looks like. But, from an artist standpoint, definitely wanted your buy-in as a singer and how that made you feel. And what do you think the path forward is for artists now that it's here?
I mean, at some point, you're going to have to, it's like everything else. You're going to have to find a way or figure out a way to get on board with it, or you're going to get left behind. It's like, it's just how it always is.
So for the independent artists out there, what would be your advice to them?
I would say if you're not totally comfortable with the AI as like you're going to be the AI artist, at least start using the tools to either better your workflow, make your songs a little bit better, tighter, just to make your workflow more proficient and faster. Because nowadays, I mean, let's be honest, it ain't even all about quality, it's about quantity. It's a numbers game. So use AI to just make your workflow faster so you can just keep up with the people that's already using the tool.
So to your other point, the machine don't sleep, it don't eat. Sheesh. How do you compete with that? The machine don't eat, it don't sleep.
I just thought about something too. Maybe we can have this as another conversation because it'll go somewhere else. But I was just thinking about it when you was talking about the AI artist. Oh, why haven't nobody thought about an AI streamer? Because think about it, these guys be sitting on camera for like 3-4 hours at a time. Why in the world would you want to do that when you could just have some virtual thing and this on camera for 3 or 4 hours and it's not you? An
That's
AI,
great.
an AI streamer.
Wow.
Like you know what I'm saying? Wow, like who? I mean, it would be like an AI Casanat. Like, 'cause think
But
about it.
what about the group chat? I mean, how would it do the group chat though?
Think about it. He's sitting there for 3 to 4, however many hours. And that's a long time, dog, to do anything.
Right.
If there was some kind of way you could figure out a way where it didn't have to be you and you could just have like some AI thing doing that.
Sheesh. That's crazy.
But hold on, couldn't the AI run the chat? Think about it. If AI could do all of this other stuff, you trying to tell me that the AI couldn't just respond to if somebody like left a comment in the you talking about like the thread that be going along the
Yeah,
side
yeah.
of the screen? Oh, come on, man. AI program probably could look at what somebody typed and already reply back to the message and keep it moving. That's gonna be the next step. Watch. If they
Mm,
already doing the AI artist, the AI streamer gonna be next.
mm. That's
And to be honest with you,
interesting.
the AI streamer's probably gonna get a bigger bag because they're gonna be able to put more ads on the streaming stuff because the streaming videos be like 3-4 hours long.
Sheesh.
That's where
Yeah.
the advertiser dollars come in because they're looking at if you can hold an audience for 4 hours and we can keep pumping ad every, they do the math every so many minutes, we putting an ad on it, and you out of here, man. Out of
Sheesh. She.
maybe we need to be figuring that out. Maybe I
Hey,
should maybe I shouldn't have said that on this podcast.
what does that look like? What does that take? Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, that's the ticket right there, yo. That's the ticket. And
So,
yep.
so maybe I'll try that prompt in Runway Gen 4 and see what that looks like. So I like to, you know, want to take time I want to do story time. And I'm gonna take you back to a situation. And I want you to give me a story time so we could better illustrate and help artists do better than what we did. Now, I'm gonna take your memory back before you started editing and one of your very first videos, and I want you to give me some story time by our infamous videographer by the name of Jack. Give me some story time.
Hey,
Give me a 1 minute story time that's just, what you learned in that and how funny that was. Go ahead.
well, it wasn't funny because I was the one that was paying for it. But just imagine I was the one that pretty much gave him the whole vision of what I wanted the music video to look like. I mean, I had everything down to the detail. Hey, I want this to look like this. So basically, I gave him the whole storyboard. He didn't even have to really do no work. He just showed up with the cameras. But like you said, we didn't know nothing about video editing at the time, so we didn't know how easy or how hard it was. So, I gave him the whole storyboard of what I wanted the video to look like. I mean, he came, he shot it, he did his thing, gave me the finished product. I mean, it wasn't the worst, but what did he charge me? Was it $1,000?
1,500.
Yeah, 1,500 something. Yeah, I think he charged me like $1,500 just to edit edit a music video. Look, I don't know about you, and look, to today, $1,500 today is a lot of money. So back like I was about to rob somebody for the money. But afterwards, we talked about it and we was like, yo, man, we probably could do this ourselves. And then once we started playing around with it, we realized like that he really didn't do nothing special. We was like, hold on, that's all you had to do was do this, slide this over, cut it right here, move this box right there, this box right there. Oh man, he got me.
Got him.
Whoa,
Got him.
Jag him. Jag him.
So and the reason why I asked that, because now if you look at it with editing with AI, it's one click and it's pretty much done. One click and now you don't have to worry about paying $1,500. And I think now the going rate for a rap video or R&B video is about $300 to $400. Times are, and then of course cats just use their phone. I mean, your phone.
There you go. There you go.
Can do the same thing. So I appreciate your time this evening, man. Once again, the name of this podcast is The Wrap Up, and this segment was Signed by the Machine. Guy in the music industry. Yeah. So tell people where they can find you, KA, on.
Well, the name of my podcast is Unaffiliated Creators. I know the spelling get a little tricky, so you got to be careful, but it's Unaffiliated Creators. I'm on IG, but on IG, I think it's just, it's KA every day because that's my stage name. So if you just type in KA every day, I'll come up on all the different socials. So that's probably easier than, or if you want to try to figure out how to spell unaffiliated, it's Unaffiliated Creators. But yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Appreciate you, my brother. And for the audience out there, we appreciate y'all. Stay tuned to wrap up for the next episodes. This is a test. We just trying to keep up with everybody else, and appreciate y'all time, and y'all have a good one. Be blessed.